Should you still buy Resident Evil 4's remake? It's been out for a while now, so I'm going to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hello, my name is Reese, and today, you heard it right, we'll be talking about everything you need to know about the Resident Evil 4 remake. Like I said, we're going to go over some good stuff, some bad stuff, and then the ugly stuff. And at the end, I will tell you if I think it's going to be worth it and how much the game is actually available for right now. If you have played it though, please let me know in the comment section below what you thought of it, because this is going to get juicy. This is definitely one of my favourite games. So without further ado, let's start off with the good. There's so much good stuff in Resident Evil 4 that I'm actually going to have to skim over bits and bobs of it because it would take me hours to go through everything. So, firstly, RE4 comes to life through the Unreal Engine. This by far out of all the remakes benefits most from that third person view. It's silky smooth and makes the parry and combat feel natural and downright perfect at certain times. The Krauser fight, I'm looking at you, the whole knife fight against Krauser just feels brilliant from the start to the middle all the way to the finish. It just perfectly encapsulates everything you need to know about Resident Evil 4. If you've played it, please let me know what your favourite boss fight was, because Krauser for me, it's fantastic. Like, it's painful how good that third person view benefits in the Krauser fight. It's just fantastic. Like, oh, makes me want to jizz. Right, I'm going to talk about the graphics really quickly. They're amazing, but you expect that. The PS2 version, for its time, looked good, but this one looks absolutely amazing. So the graphics are just fantastic. You can't get. I don't think anything looks better at this point in life than Resident Evil 4. I sometimes have a problem when I do these reviews because a lot of the time the stuff I put in the bad or the ugly ends up being the runtime. And Resident Evil 4 is around 10 to 12 hours depending on your playstyle. So it never feels at any point like it overstays its welcome, which is odd for a video game. I played Silent Hill 2 recently, and that felt like it dragged and dragged and dragged, where this is more action-packed, obviously depending on what type of video game you do like. But for me, Resident Evil 4 does not outstay its welcome, and there's replay value in that, but we'll talk about replay value in a little bit. Because in Resident Evil 4, Leon's character does get developed. In Resident Evil 2, he's I don't know if it's awful or anything, but he's a bit of a useless cop. He's brand new to the gig, doesn't do anything special. Here he can parry, he can German suplex bitches, he's just way better. But the character of Leon seems to have grown a lot since number 2, and it carries on growing throughout the whole of Resident Evil 4. So if you are interested in the lore of Resident Evil, this is a good carry-on from 2 if you did miss 3. So yeah, in terms of Leon, again, his character has got so much better in this one. The core game, though, is a rescue mission, and you do have to help guide an AI character who's called Ashley, which I know there's been so many rescue missions in video games, and every single one of them's pissed me off. But this is the only time I don't feel like it's a negative, because how much better Ashley feels in the remake than she does in the original. I didn't play the original through the whole game because the Ashley parts were diabolical. Like, it was painful how bad the Ashley parts were. But in the remake, there's enough where she's like, I don't know, it sounds awful, but she's not retarded. Like in the PS2 one, she wasn't like, oh, she just didn't grip. Like, it was just annoying. The AI on Ashley in this is so much better. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is definitely the best example of a rescue mission that you've ever seen in a video game. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you've not played many rescue mission video games outside of, like, you know, the Resident Evil universe. But let me know in the comment section below if you do know of any other missions maybe better than this. But yeah, it's a rescue mission, but it's not bad. I spoke about replay value earlier, and the replay value in Resident Evil 4 is phenomenal. It's by far the most replayable Resident Evil game I've ever played. I played Resident Evil 3 a lot, but that's because it was so short that one playthrough, or let's be honest, 3 playthroughs of Resident Evil 3 would probably take you as long as one playthrough as Resident Evil 4. So the whole flow of the game just makes me feel like I want to go again. It feels like a roller coaster. Like, you finish it and you go, I want to go again. Why? Well, I don't know why, because I was terrified, I was shocked, I loved it, I was thrilled, it was everything, but I just want to go again. So you just start it again. It's really weird. I've never really had that with some of the Resident Evil games, like 7, and you play it once or twice, you don't do it again. Whereas this, you just keep wanting to play, you just keep wanting to play it. It's really, really odd. But at the same time, I feel like there are certain parts in it what are just fantastic. Like, there's a whole defense part, and I used to, like, when I first started playing it, it really made me, like, on edge. But this last playthrough, I knew what I was doing, and it just felt like a different game altogether. So even when you do replay it, there are certain parts that make the game feel like it's different because you're taking like a different point of view into it, which is really cool for a video game. So they're the really good bits. Now we're going to start getting into the bad bits. I know this might be a little bit controversial, and I know some people do love Mercenaries, but I am going to have to put it in the bad section in this, because I only played it to unlock, I think it was the Infinite Magnum, but that's the only reason why I played it. And I literally never went back to it, and it was really odd, because now I think back to it, like, it's just a run and gun shooting game. Like, it doesn't really fit into the core game very well. I don't think it doesn't fit into the DLC. But what I would have liked them to have done, and I'm pretty sure I've seen some mods on PC for this, but obviously console can't do this. I would have liked to see Mercenaries unlock the characters so you can play as Wesker in the main game, because the game would play very differently if you were, you know, Hunk. The game would play very differently if you could play as the other characters in Mercenaries. I just think it was a little bit of a missed point there. I don't know. Let me know what you think, because some parts of it might not fit in with Leon's main run through, but I just think it'd be cool to run through the game as, you know, Krauser or something like that. But again, I don't know. This is just an idea, but it's not a bad part. I just for the sake of the videos, I have to put something in the bad part. And for me, it would definitely be Mercenaries. It's repetitive and it's a little bit like, don't really fit around here, but yeah, here's what it is, isn't it? Okay, so this is the bit where I tell you that there is some ugly parts of, you know, the video game. If you guys have watched some of these videos before, I normally have something good for the ugly part, but for this one, the core game feels fantastic. And I mean, this is a tiny problem, a tiny problem, okay, before anyone comes after me for this. My problem with Resident Evil 4's remake is the skips. There's quite a lot of skips. I don't want to tell people not to look them up, but please don't look them up if it's your first run through. Just enjoy the game for what it's meant to be. And then if you want to go after achievements or maybe speedrun, then definitely look through the skips. There's a lot of them. I'm sure they'll be on YouTube somewhere. Someone would have made a video about like all the bits you can skip. But again, there's an achievement for less than 8 hours, so if you do want that, you do need the skips. But I just think for your first experience of this game, please don't look up the skips, because they do spoil some parts. And there's some skips like the one at the beginning where you can't do unless you're on New Game Plus. But everything else, please just go in and play it, especially if you've never experienced it or it's your first time ever playing a Resident Evil game. I just think, yeah, the ugly part of this game is how many skips there are. So should you buy Resident Evil 4 Remake? And it absolutely sounds bonkers to say this, but hell yes, it's currently 12 quid. That is an astronomically cheap price for this video game, and you're going to play it, honestly, you're probably going to get 50 hours out of it, 40 or 50 hours. You will easily run through this a minimum of 3 or 4 times. I'd be surprised if anyone played this through once and didn't New Game Plus it, because it feels completely different on harder levels and with your weapons already beefed up. At this point though, I do think Resident Evil 4 is like one of the best Resident Evil games out there, if not one of the best video games I've ever played. That's what makes me push this game so much, not just in terms of me loving the franchise, but in terms of in video games. You would put this up there with some of the best of all time. I know that sounds wild, but genuinely it is that good. But I'm gonna make a full video about the replay value of Resident Evil. So if you're actually interested in that, please subscribe and all that good stuff. Let me know also if you have played Resident Evil 4. I would like to hear from all the nerds, please. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you are a horror fan also, I've made one of these videos about Silent Hill 2 remakes. If you are interested, watch that. If not, cool. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I have been Reese. You guys have been fantastic. This has been yet another good, bad, and ugly Should You Buy review. I've been Reese. You've been fantastic, and I will see you soon. Peace.